I switched them last meeting. Him and the mayor.
There's a lot of things.
We're live, okay.
Live.
Okay.
Whoops, better put my glasses on. Okay, I want to preempt this, just let everybody know that out in live stream audience that we're doing virtual meetings until the end of the year, but maybe till further notice until things change. We're currently under a red, I believe. So, you know, and you guys know you have the option of doing it virtual or in person, but I think it was it the last meeting or the meeting before we decided to close it out to the public? Was it a meeting before?
I think it was 2 meetings back.
Yeah,
2 meetings ago?
ago.
Okay. All right. So hopefully everybody that wants to join in can live stream and or do the playback. But okay. So first thing I'd like to do then is open up tonight's Lawrenceburg Board of Works for December 7th, 2020 with a roll call. Mr. Fetty.
Sure. Board member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Board member Tommy Roulette.
Present.
City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
President Kelly Milan.
Here.
And myself.
Okay. I don't have any announcements for the Board of Works. Do you guys got anything, Tony?
No.
I'm
Nothing.
nothing this time, Mayor.
Okay, if not, then I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So move.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business, Mr. Weldon, it looks like 2021 emergency medical service contract.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. If it pleases the Board of Public Works and Safety, in your packet, you'll find for consideration a couple different agreements. And these are annual agreements. We do them each year, back and forth with the county, essentially. But the first one is, you'll see titled 2021 contract, $20,000 per squad. And these are agreements that will be signed by our EMS and our fire chief, but I wanted the board to review them and to authorize Chief Tremaine and Chief Clark, EMS Director Clark, to execute these on behalf of the city of Lawrenceburg. So the first one for consideration, and I'd ask for a vote to either approve this or reject this, is an agreement between our emergency service providers and Dearborn County, where we provide emergency medical services in certain areas of Dearborn County, and we're compensated $20,000 each for 2 units per year in exchange for the services that we provide.
This is the same contract we've had for a while.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Can I ask a question on that?
Yes, sir.
I'm just curious, is that a service fee, 20,000 per unit, and then is there additional cost for every use, or that's just a flat rate?
That's what we could charge the county to provide it.
Okay, so they could have 5 or they could have 100 uses.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
No cost. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no stipulation on the number of times. Or
Right.
we do similar with fire protection, things like that. Questions, guys? Tony, Tom?
I have no questions, Mayor.
No questions.
So I guess entertain a motion to approve the 2021 emergency medical service contract with the Board of Commissioners of Dearborn County.
So move, Mayor.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion will carry.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Mr. Fetty,
I was going to say, I don't have copies
I'll
for anybody
let-
to sign.
the way the county wants us to do all of these is to just, for us to have Chief Tremaine, Director Clark sign them and get them back to us. So I'll get you original copies so we have them locally, but it's not something that the board signs. I just wanted, like I said, I wanted the board to review it and approve it, but authorize those
Okay,
guys to sign.
so it's in the minutes and stuff, okay.
I'll get you an original copy, Mr. Fetty.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Second one is the Fire Protection Services Agreement.
Thank you, Your Honor. Please, Board of Public Works and Safety for the city of Lawrenceburg, similar to the first agreement we have behind the cover letter from Connie Fromhold from Dearborn County. we have a proposed agreement for the Lawrenceburg Fire Department, where the first one was EMS. This is emergency fire, Lawrenceburg Fire Department Fire Protection Services Agreement, where our Lawrenceburg Fire Department will provide fire protection services to the county for the year of 2021. Our compensation is set out, it's not a flat fee, it's set out in paragraph 2. And that's how this one is provided. So Mr. Noppert, to kind of your question, this is compensated a little bit differently.
Was that set up originally? I mean, how old is this agreement? I mean, how many years has this been 1/20th of 5% of the tax? Has it been going on for a long time, or is it just?
As long as we've been here, I couldn't tell you if it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago.
Okay.
It's just one of those things that when we got here, it's the way it was, and we just kept doing it.
Okay.
You know, I've never heard anything negative in terms of finances, or that this puts an undue burden on our emergency services, providing those services.
Questions from you two?
No questions, Mayor.
All right, if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the fire protection services agreement with the, with Dearman County.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second it.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion will carry. And then I'm a little confused on what this next one is.
It's with the EMS. It's kind of the same thing. It's the same percent, same thing, but just with EMS.
Yes, and I think what Your Honor is saying is, why do we have the
First one in the.
EMS
this
service
one.
contract and the EMS agreement? I have, my understanding.
Well, I think the first one's just for the life squad itself, and the other one is for the actual people.
Service itself.
Services, yeah.
Oh, I got you.
I think
Okay,
that's exactly right.
okay. That makes sense. All right. Good explanation.
Again, this is something that's been in place for some time.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Okay.
And if it pleases the board, I mean, that's a good question. We just never asked it, so I can get some more information so that for next year, we know, okay, how do they arrive at these numbers? When's the last time we looked at them?
And they pay them together, but we do get money for each one. And then we also get the 20 per vehicle.
Okay.
My suggestion would be first address it to the fire chief or the director of the EMS. I'm
Yeah.
sure they're more on this than I am myself, so.
Okay.
Again, if I had any questions, that's who I'd be going to.
I'll do that. and
I
I'll
would,
report
if there was
back.
a red flag, I'm sure they would make us aware of that as
Yes,
well.
sir.
I think Mr. Fetty had done a little bit of research on what those amounts were averaging out to be.
That is correct.
Okay. All right. Any other questions from you guys? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the emergency medical services agreement with the, with Dearborn County.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion will carry. The next item is under myself. What we're just asking for tonight, because I'll ask for a committee in council. But have you guys had an opportunity to view the job description for the community center director?
Yes.
Okay. These were primary functions, but obviously they can be changed and may be changed going forward. But we were just wanting some authority to post the position. I may be putting the cart before the horse a little bit. We're working on a dissolution of the board with the community center. Dell's working on that, and then the board of directors down there will call a special meeting this month to sign off on that. And then you guys will have to accept it in Parks and Playgrounds. What I would like to do is put this out for a posting and not do anything until we get all those other things approved. But I wanted to get this so we can at least put the posting out there. That's the intent. We don't have to do anything with it.
Right.
We can get the posting out and start receiving So, you know, I know Mary Beth is retiring on the 15th, actually, but we got a plan in place for between now and the end of the year and everything, but just wanted to get the posting out there, and then we'll go back and take care of the other business that has to be taken care of. Like I said, we may not have to, if nothing becomes agreeable, then we wouldn't have to do anything with the postings anyway, or the applications anyway. So what I'm asking for tonight is give Jenny actually the ability just to post this job description out on our different media outlets and things like that. This particular job will be posted more in a localized area. You know, I'm saying Dearborn, Ripley, Ohio County type area. We're not, you know, it's not like the utility director search or anything. Then what I'll do is once, hopefully by the 21st, I'll come to council and then ask for a committee, or during Parks and Playgrounds, and ask for a committee for interview committee. So, any questions, guys?
I've none there.
No.
Okay, then I'd entertain a motion to approve the job description for the community center director and allow it to be posted in lieu of getting the dissolution of the board letter and everything else.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion will carry. Okay. That's all I got under new business, guys. You guys got anything to add under new business? Yes, sir.
Somehow we got omitted from the agenda, the bid opening for the Dowdy Road
Oh,
cul-de-sac and rehab project.
okay.
Like to go ahead and do that. We had 2 bidders come to the mandatory pre-bid meeting, 2 bids turned in, one by Dave O'Mara and one by Paul H. Rowe Company. First one we're gonna open is from Dave O'Mara. Okay, and that is for $177,525. And the next is from Paul Rowe Company. Okay, they are for $153,561.80. Actually, both bids came in below the engineer's cost estimate. That being said, I would recommend that we award this to Paul H. Rowe Company for the lowest bid.
Any questions, guys?
Now, you would review this as well after we make the motion to make sure everything's in order. Other than that, I have none, Mayor.
Okay, well then, motion would be to approve the Dowdy Road cul-de-sac improvement to Paul H. Rowe Company for the amount of $153,561.80, provided that the engineering department approves the paperwork.
Yeah, we'll just make sure we've received everything
Okay.
for the submittal.
Yep.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
All right, thank you.
Motion carries. All right. Any old business?
I have none.
Not entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, guys. All right, next meeting I'd like to open up is the Lawrenceburg Parks and Playground for December 7th, 2020. Can I get a roll call, Mr. Fetty?
Sure. Board Member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Board Member Justin Nobbert.
Yes, sir.
Board Member Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Board Member Lenny Fryman.
Here.
Board Member Rhett Bondurant. Yes, sir. City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
President Kelly Malone.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, any announcements for parks and playgrounds? I don't have any for this one. We did award the parks foreman's job today to Mr. Roger Houston. So he will be taking over from Mr. Toby Pope. So I got to meet with him today and Brad, and I think he's got a pretty good outlook on how he wants to do things, and he knows I'm real anal about grass. So
I think he'll do a good job. I was talking to Mr. Massey and Mr. Houston today, just congratulating him on that position. One of the concerns that they kind of expressed was a lot of the vandalism and the trash. I was personally, I was over at the skate park not too long ago, and garbage cans have been removed from their containers and trash kind of strewn everywhere. Just like to just entertain some ideas as we move forward, you know, to help kind of mitigate, you know, some of this vandalism. I know we have great lighting, we have video surveillance, and we've actually gone after some of the, you know, vandals that have done things. And I just, you know, I think about even over at the skate park, I look forward to when we have some improvements over there where there's a little bit more traffic of people, that it's not such a quiet, you know, off alone place. But I'd like to entertain just any comments regarding ways that we can better, you know, not police those areas, but, you know, just have a greater presence in those areas so that kind of stuff isn't happening.
I can tell you, I got an email over the weekend from a lady that was at the dog park, telling me about some trash over at the skate park. So obviously I always text Brad whenever I get these things, whether it's a weekend or not, and they took care of it first thing this morning, and he said it was a horrible mess. What we have done is last week we also, with our clerk down at the dispatch, down at the PD, caught a kid spray painting the skate park, and they went over and cited him, and so I don't know that kid will be back spray painting, but the thing is,
Adams, to get some lessons at least.
what's that? Go down to Adam?
Adams art.
Yeah, get some good art, right?
Great mural.
Yeah. So I mean, the skate park area has become a place that's being watched more than that I wish it was, because I think it's a great opportunity. I'll tell you another thing though. I got 3 calls over the weekend. One Friday night and 1 on Saturday afternoon, 1 Sunday afternoon. Bunch of skateboarders over at the new Civic Park. Police were over there Friday night and took care of the situation. And Saturday and Sunday, we didn't catch them in time. But I talked to Chief Snyder today that, you know, there's going to be more of a presence over there. We don't want skateboards over there.
Your Honor, I have ran them out of that park numerous times.
I have too.
The names I've been called is just amazing.
Yeah, I have too, Tony. You're exactly right. I'd be eating dinner at Proof 124 or something, and I'd see the kids over on that stage, and I'd walk over there, and most of the time they'd just soon give you the one shot.
Yep.
But we do have a great community service program that would be perfect for that.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
We're going to go have Judge Johns take care of that for us.
I'm trying to, you know, outside of, you know, compliance, you know, forcing them, just wondering if there's any community type of efforts we can do to help just mitigate that from even happening. Even with the trash in the parks, oftentimes when I see something out there and I call Brad, he's already on it, you know, because I mean, these guys they get on those things pretty darn quick. If there's brush down on the trail, I was, hey, there's brush down, hey, we got the guys that are already heading over there. So I mean, they're doing a great job of being on top of those things. I'm just trying to think about more proactive measures.
Well, that was the discussion that Mr. Houston and I and Brad had this morning about priorities and being proactive instead of reactive. Because we talked about the garbage piece at the skate park. There's a way to be proactive with that. Maybe every Friday before we go home, we make sure that these receptacles are emptied.
Yeah, good point.
You know, those kinds of things, rather than give it a chance to overflow. We don't want it to overflow.
Oh, that's great.
So I think he's got some good outlook on that. He had some good ideas. So we're going to let him run with it, and he's very eager.
Yeah.
He's I look forward to working with him.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah. And Toby can sit back and enjoy his retirement, and good for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with you on that. Be proactive instead of reactive, that's for sure.
Hey, regarding the trails, since we're talking about parks and things, I know we've had a lot of closures, and I'm assuming that's because of the power line upgrades.
Yeah.
Is there, and this might have been a question for Mr. Todd, or, you know, Mr. Clark might be able to help us with that in regards to, I mean, there's not a lot to do, you know, during, you know, quarantine and COVID and everything else going out there. There's been a lot of people who have missed the opportunity to, you know, be able to utilize that trail. It's actually a lot more utilized than people think.
Mhm.
I'm out there fairly regularly, and there's oftentimes, you know, 10 dozen people at least on this side of the trail that, you know, that would like to use that. Is there any way that we can, I don't know how much longer for them to do the maintenance on the power lines going across the river, how long that's going to last, or if there's a specific altitude that they can fly over the trail and then do their landing in Tanners Creek Development where we don't have to close the trail off? Do you think you know any of that, Mr. Clark?
I know they're still working on it today. That's about all I know.
I mean, they're working
I
7
read-
days a week oftentimes on it, you know, so.
I-
Yes, sir.
I did see one thing on Facebook, there was mention about the workers on the power lines, and one power line people put in there, the job's supposed to be done first week of January.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay. Good. I didn't know that.
I mean, I wasn't sure why we had to shut the trail down. I'm sure it's liability with the
It's safety.
safety, right, so.
I don't think it's even our call. I think it was their call. They'll be requiring us to shut it down just because of safety reasons.
Yeah, I talked to them guys. I was up there one day, and if that line fell down, there's a lot of voltage going through that. Excuse me, and somebody get killed. So they're doing the right thing. I mean, it's just the safety measures what they're doing.
You're right, Justin. We don't realize how many people actually use that trail. There's a lot of people that use that trail.
Fantastic. It's just a great asset to our
It is.
city.
Yeah.
If you guys can figure out how to keep the geese from doing their thing.
They're gonna do it. You don't mess with them either.
No. No, don't mess with it. Okay. Any other announcements? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business, Arch Street Park. This is a result, I told you about there was a committee put together. They met, I believe, 3 times, twice on site, once here. This is what they came up with as far as the types of equipment with the rep's input, because he had to give his input on, you know, what was feasible and trying to be real with it. Just so you guys know, this is everything that's going to fit back in the same footprint that's over at Arch Street. If you read through the bid, or the quote, it includes the turf like we have up on the hill, includes demolition, and I know, Justin, you had mentioned about using some of that for other things, and I think we can still do that. We'll have to pull the trigger on that and decide.
I got a question, Mayor. Was there just one quote on this?
No,
I mean,
no, what they did was, we had 3 different companies come down, determine which company was gonna work.
but
go
there's no
forward with the
quotes on
committee.
any of the companies, or what did they do? They just decided they like this company and,
Well, what had happened was, this is a different company than we used on the Hill. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. That company came down, they gave their potential bids. What happened was, this company came out with a grant
I was
program.
just, with this amount of money, I was just trying to figure out the
Yeah.
quote thing with prices, and I was just
think it
kind of
was more
concerned
of
that
a request
if we're
for-
just getting
for
one quote.
qualifications.
I'm sorry, go on,
It's
Mike.
more of a request for qualifications and responsiveness. I know Mario was handling this, and he was having a hard time even getting people to call him back.
Well, I know the one company, the rep is no longer with them, and the one from up on the hill, I think it was. But it was more of an RFQ is what Mike was saying.
Yeah,
Mark.
but, and the only reason I'm saying anything, I was just kind of comparing to what we spent on the Hill and comparing to this, and it's substantially different. That was my only concern. I just
How
thought
much?
we should at least got 2
Was
quotes.
it more expensive on the hill or less?
Oh, way less.
How much less?
On the Hill was it was around $320,000. That's the turf and everything. It didn't include like the excavation and the concrete, which was about 50,000 to.
You got to also look at this one as handicap accessible. It's got the ramps over at Arch Street like it does now. We wanted to build back the same
Yeah.
accessibility.
Yeah, and that's fine. I was just trying to cover my part as far as just one quote or 2 quotes. I just wanted to. I just
think
didn't know
that
the
it was more of an
process.
RFQ instead of
Okay.
quotes or bids.
All right, thanks, Mike.
And just for clarification, is that the total amount there at the bottom, the 740?
No,
Okay, that's where I was confused.
the 556.
Yeah.
It is 556.
That's after the grant, that's after the grants.
After the grants, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess this company would have offered a couple, basically called a grant discount, whatever they want to call it.
Yeah, they can call it whatever they want. What I told him too.
Yeah, it is 740,000 before the grants, you know, for this. I mean, and there's substantially more equipment, you know.
Well, this is a bigger footprint.
Yes.
It's quite a bit bigger footprint.
Well, the only question other than that I have is when we talked about this in the Common Council meeting on the November 16th, it was quoted that the project will be about 500,000 with the grant, but we've exceeded that.
By 56,000, yeah. But I don't know that, I think when we talked about that, Tommy, I don't know if it included demolition.
Okay.
Because we were talking about doing demolition ourselves at the one time, but they'll come in and do it this winter.
I think that's 24 grand knows all the demo was, right?
22.5.
Might be.
2.5, yeah.
Yeah. I've got a blowtorch if you need somebody to go and cut.
There you go.
That's what you don't tear up is what's important.
Now, I know these are just pictures, but there will be a cement walk going around the play structures. That's
That
what,
cement walk is not going away now, the one you got now.
there's not a cement walk there now. There's that,
Yeah, foam kind of.
foam rubber
Oh,
walk, that
oh, oh,
rubber
oh,
walk.
no,
Now, the
no.
rubber walk's gonna be gone and it's gonna be cement. That's what the consultant or salesman was saying.
You know what, I don't know that I can answer that.
It doesn't look like it's included in here.
I don't see anything on concrete work. I don't think, I think what they were talking about was where they have to tuck the concrete work he was talking about was where we tuck the turf in that, Mike, we have a concrete where the turf meets up to,
Bottom right.
You gotta put like a curb in almost, a backstop.
Yeah, I don't know.
but,
I don't think that is.
but there
I saw
will,
that.
Unless it's coded different in the itemized.
So there
you
won't
see
be
that?
no walkway then? Because I'm worried about the kids in the wheelchairs trying to go over the
I think it's the same
AstroTurf.
oh, they won't have any problem with that.
It's supposed to be pretty soft.
Oh, have you been up on the ones up on the hill?
Yeah.
It's
pretty, I mean, it's
pretty sturdy.
Alrighty.
But he said that, I asked that question about it, and we were talking about all accessibility,
Mm-hmm.
inclusiveness or whatever. Well, you may have been at that meeting. I don't remember. And, he said it shouldn't be a problem at all, but
The
we
turf,
can-
the
we
turf
can
is
certainly-
full late.
Salesmen
ADA
now, I
accessory.
don't trust everything they say.
oh, I hear you. I hear you. We can
Comes out a
certainly
little
look
different.
putting like we do up on the hill, we got the concrete walkway
Yeah.
around the circumference of the playground.
Mayor.
What's that?
6:30.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, we've got let's put a pause on this. We got to open up so we're pausing at 6:30, under new business on parks and playgrounds. And Mr. Fetty, we got to open up the public hearing for additional appropriations and reductions.
Yes. What we have here is ordinance number 15, so that'd be 15 dash 2020. You know, y'all have got the additional appropriation in your packets. You'll notice out of the general fund, we have an additional appropriation for a little bit over 172,000. The nice thing that Brittany was able to do was she was able to reduce, if you take a look at the second page, she was able to reduce other items in the general fund for that same amount of money. So it kind of balanced out, which was kind of nice. You'll also notice in there was a COVID, we had 2 different grants from COVID. Once again, we already received that money, we spent the money, but once again, that money right there has to be appropriated just for the legality of it. We have some other items in there. We got some redevelopment. They got a couple more projects that they need for the end of the year, or a couple contracts that we got to fulfill. Once again, fibers right now is close to being 0. We don't want to put that in the red at the end of the year, so we want to do some additional appropriation on that. And the rest of them, the rest of them down there are grants. One was with the community center. Once again, we had that at the beginning of the year, so we didn't really know how much it was going to be until we actually had to pay or get the grant. And the other 2 are, what's the other 2 grants, Brittany?
Local road is for community crossing.
Oh, yeah, the community crossing grants. Okay. Are there any questions with anything else? Because Brittany will be able to answer them.
Guys got any questions for?
No, but again, this is common practice at the end of the year, correct?
This is probably one of the least additional appropriations we had in many years. Mayor, you could probably attest to that.
Yeah, it is. It is. You know, when we do the budgets, it's a guess, right? Things come up throughout the years. We actually, we do twice a year, don't we? Yeah, we usually do additional appropriations twice a year, if needed, or whatever's needed. But at the end of the year, you don't want anything running in the red.
Right. It's understandable.
So, this is common, yes. What ordinance number is this?
That's number 15, 2020.
Any questions regarding this, guys?
I don't know.
If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve the additional appropriation and reduction ordinance, which is ordinance number 15-2020, and approve and pass tonight upon a unanimous vote. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thanks.
Anything else with the hearing? Nobody's called.
I don't hear the phone ringing.
All right. It's 6:35, so we'll close the public hearing for additional appropriations. And at 6:35, we will go back to Parks and Playgrounds and continue the discussion on the Arch Street Park. One thing that we needed to get done this year, if we're going forward with the Arch Street Park project, is the equipment had to be paid for this year to get it ordered. We had some money that we were able to use out of this year's budget. So then next year's budget will only be using the 300 and, or whatever, $1,000
yeah.
of it. So it won't be a full $500,000 hit. So which really helps us, I guess. That way we can utilize a little bit of extra money that we had left this year to, and not have to utilize it all for next year.
I believe it's just 50% of the equipment within this year to get it ordered.
Yes, right. Yeah. So,
What's the install date? Are they thinking it'll be ready by next summer?
yeah, well, what we talked about was, as soon as we get this approved, they get the equipment ordered, they would come in and start doing demolition, in the winter, right now. And then, everything should be, I think it's an 8 to 12 week lead time, if I'm not mistaken, for the equipment. If I remember, Tony, you remember what he said? I think it was 8 to
Oh, sure.
12 weeks. But they're saying that then they get everything prepped and ready to go and ready for installation. They'd like to have it open by May 1st. I'm sorry, April 1st. April 1st.
That's not a joke, right?
I'm sorry? No, I'm sorry, yeah. It's not April Fool's. But that's the plan, provided weather cooperates and everything else. They think they can get her done.
Now, including in on this plan too, they also talked about putting in, like maybe 1 or 2 smaller basketball goals for the smaller kids to shoot ball and.
Well,
so
it's
that-
not on this,
so
but we
it's not on that, but-
agreed.
Yeah,
We
we said it'd be
agreed
no
that
problem,
the
so-
city could do that we can pay for that.
As long as we don't forget to do that.
Not a problem. We're also gonna have the fence around the circumference of the park repainted, things like that.
Have we got this, is this thing set up to where, like people on their swings or stuff, I know at the top of the hill, the older kids, if they're on the swings or stuff, the little kids have to walk in front of them to keep them from getting hit, if they got it.
Well, like I said, the footprint doesn't change. What you see over there now is gonna be the way it's set up.
Except everything's gonna be a single surface. There's not gonna be.
Yeah,
different surfaces.
same surface. There
You're
won't
not
be
gonna
no
have the-
raised surfaces or
you're not
anything.
gonna
No,
have the
what I'm
rubber
talking
ball
about,
with the
like
concrete.
your older kids are swinging, or your older kids are playing on the other things, and the little kids are running by to get to where they wanna play, you know, so
Oh,
they
yeah,
don't.
the swings are
over 'em
gonna,
and
you know
stuff.
where you're familiar with Arch Street now.
Right.
The swings are gonna stay right where the swings are. The playground equipment is gonna be over where the playground
Separate.
equipment is. So I think is that what you're?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
There's a pretty good distance between them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah.
Now, is
much room
anybody,
right there.
is the equipment that's over there now, is it obsolete to where nobody can use it, or is anybody wanting it, or?
Well, Justin had talked about that at the last meeting about, you know, if there's any, apartment complexes or.
Private enterprise.
Yeah.
I mean,
Might want it. We can do that we can put that out there for a period of time, and I mean, we've made the announcement here, of course. But once they start demo, it's gonna be demo.
yeah, we can't hold
Correct.
that up.
So we have to get our ducks in a row, so to speak, if we wanna do that prior to.
Yes.
Otherwise, we're gonna be paying the 22.5
Yeah, I mean, Lauren,
Well, we would be paying it anyway.
Yeah.
for the demolition.
Well, somebody's not gonna come in there and take that whole thing.
Okay.
Number one, I don't think it's,
That's where I was misunderstood, or
I
understanding.
think they did that for Lauren Hill, right? But it wasn't near the amount of volume. of
Right.
it.
oh, no,
Right.
So,
no, not near,
And that fell through twice before they could get people lined up to actually.
They end up
physically
doing that
take-
in about a weekend, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
didn't
they
take
had,
very long.
yeah, not near the equipment, that's for sure, but,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't even know where that stuff's being stored, but,
it's just, it's all laying up there on top of
Is it?
Georgetown Hill there. Just, yeah, I don't know if they've started on it already,
They hadn't as a couple weekends ago.
so.
they did?
They haven't.
Oh, haven't? Okay. Thanks, Brittany. So what I would say is, if you guys hear anybody that's interested, I would, bring it to us in the meeting, and we'll get, try to decide what we can do for them. But if we don't hear, and it's time for demo,
Right, I think we should set a deadline where if we're gonna do that, we need to have a deadline. someone doesn't come in with that
I
deadline,
think
we know that they're going to move forward.
demo's gonna be whenever they show up, once they get notified.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
that probably.
So that's-
Weather permitting, it could be.
right, time is of the essence, I
It
understand.
could be next week. I mean, we don't know that, but
Yeah, well, we could get out there if we know anybody that might be interested, just tell them and they let us know in a week or so what's gonna happen.
Yeah, the only thing, we cannot guarantee anything, we'd have to have them sign off.
Correct,
Okay.
correct,
All
yes.
that.
The
you know.
liability's gonna be.
Yes, I think that's
touchy.
what you did with what was left at the Ludlow Hill Park, correct?
Exactly,
Yeah, that's understandable.
okay.
Yep.
Tomorrow, I'll reach out, provided you guys approve that, I'll reach out to, Jeff and get a better time frame and let everybody know. That might help with, if you contact anybody you know about any of the equipment. Any other questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve the Arch Street Park playground plan, which is a total of $556,930.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I have no other new business for parks and playgrounds or old business. You all have anything? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to call to order the City of Lawrenceburg Common Council meeting for December 7th, 2020. If we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Like I've been doing it since I was a kid. School every day.
We used to do it every day at school.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Sure did. Okay, roll call, Mr. Freddy.
Councilperson Tony Abbott.
Here.
Councilperson Justin Nobbert.
Yes, sir.
Councilperson Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Councilperson Lenny Fryman.
Here.
Councilperson Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
We have City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
We've got City Court Judge Joe Johns. And we got the Mayor Kelly Milan.
Here.
And myself.
Good to have you tonight, Judge.
Thank you, Mayor. It's good to get out of the house.
Yeah, heck yeah, good for you. Announcements, board reports, streets, alleys, and curbs downtown, Mr. Abbott.
I have none.
Wow. Getting to the end of the
I don't
year.
think you heard the question.
Getting to be the end of the year.
You better go on real quick.
All of the,
Might think of something.
all the speed humps are put in for the year.
Yeah, we,
Okay, thank you. Streets, alleys, and curbs, Ludlow Hill, Mr. Fryman.
Everything's good, Mayor.
You guys, all right. Finance, Mr. Bondurant.
Nothing to report, sir.
Parks and playgrounds, Mr. Noppert.
Nothing new, we didn't cover Parks Board.
All righty. Mr. Roulette, fire.
nothing to report, Mayor.
Okay. I got a couple of announcements. Don't forget, we got an executive meeting, executive session meeting on Wednesday at 4:30. Lots to talk about. And then, Mr. Clark, you gonna be here on the 21st?
if I got anything on the agenda, I will be.
Well,
We can come up with
We
something.
can put you something up there, get
is
you
it
here.
okay
Always
to
find
wish
something.
you a happy retirement this
Sure.
meeting and just in case?
Just in case, yes. I won't be here if I don't have to.
I know. Mike, how long you been here?
38 years.
38 years?
38.
Goodness gracious, that's
About
amazing.
that's about as old as I am.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
Congratulations,
Yes.
Mike.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks for your service.
Mike, thank you.
dedication there.
Big set of shoes
Yes.
still there.
Yeah. Hey, he had just a little bit more than you did over
I was
to
gonna go in a
plant.
bus built 34 and a half where I work, but I'm not going there.
Yeah, I know.
I finally got tired of putting up with the
Hey, it doesn't happen I mean, people just don't stay at jobs like that anymore. It's just
38 years, that's awesome.
Very blessed I was.
long time.
Very appreciative.
That's great. All right, any other announcements from you guys that you want to bring up? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second?
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Committee reports, I believe Fire Chief sent his out. You guys seen that?
They are you as well.
Yes. Joe, you want to say anything tonight?
Well, I'm here, in reference to the two interlocals that are before you.
Okay, okay. Well, we'll get to those.
The court will have an annual report for you guys in January.
Got it. Okay. How are things working down there with, your crew, with, trying to keep everybody healthy?
Good. The Supreme Court has really put a lot of investment into, the remote hearing platform that we all operate on. And so, in fact, I just got correspondence today from the Supreme Court that, they're in fact almost mandating, remote hearings.
Wow.
I think, the courts have tried to keep everybody as safe as possible. It's impossible to do, in a courtroom.
Yeah.
I think they've all but suspended jury trials across the state, so they're taking it very seriously.
You still able to fulfill, like, reasonable
Yeah, and-
timelines on?
Yeah, so I mean, we have AR-17 petitions filed with the Supreme Court, which give us a certain degree of flexibility as far as all the procedural benchmarks we have to meet. But, you know, as per the Indiana Constitution, we can't allow anything to interfere with court operations, which is why we've used telephonic hearings and now remote hearings to make sure that we're still conducting court business. But everything's slowed down. I mean, you know, it's not been a huge strain just because, you know, the pandemic has decreased court filings so that you can't remotely.
Okay, well, good. All right, new business, Mr. Weldon, investment resolution.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. If it pleases the Common Council for the City of Lawrenceburg, what you have in your packets for consideration tonight is a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg authorizing the investment of public funds pursuant to Indiana Code. And what you'll see spelled out in the preamble and then the enumerated sections of this proposed resolution are, first of all, this is a resolution that was originally passed in 2018 and has to be renewed every 2 years. And this is part of an ongoing project that kind of originated with Mr. Richardson, is now in Mr. Fetty's lap in terms of what a city government can do to maximize investment. You know, we're limited, of course, and that's for a good reason. We want to be protected, and actually, when you think about how your money's protected from being in accounts, this kind of covers accounts, but also certificates of deposit, other ways to kind of earn more than you would for just a traditional checking account. You usually think about the FDIC and the way the federal government insures investments. We actually have the FDIC insuring our money, and also the state of Indiana insuring our money, so kind of double protection for us. And then that in exchange, we have to agree not to we can't go out on the stock market, for example, you know, do investments that a private entity could.
It's gonna ruin your IPO investment.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm telling you. Yeah, if you guys don't pass this.
Sometimes that would be good,
No.
you know, sometimes it would be very bad.
And probably one of the biggest things that, you know, with this right here is that it does allow me to take 25% of it and invest it past the 2 years, you know, so, but I'll be honest with you, right now this ordinance isn't much good for me with everything going on. But you never know, it could change tomorrow.
Better off in cash.
Well,
Yes, it's good to have, but right now it's not the best time to be investing in what I can invest in out there.
But even in hard times, just to give Mr. Fetty kudos and his group, you know, what they do, even when there's not an opportunity to make big returns, they're constantly building and growing relationships with financial establishments, and that's kind of what this resolution speaks to as well, and the statute's just controlling where you can invest, including how you can invest. So I know that Mr. Fetty's group and the clerk treasurer's office, they really maximize that. It's not always a lot, but every bit helps, so they do as much as they can with the resources that they have.
And this is number 8, I think I told you, ma'am.
Number 8.
Number 8.
Any questions from you guys about the investment of public funds resolution? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution number 8-2020, which is the City of Lawrenceburg Investment of Funds resolution, public funds resolution.
So moved, Your Honor.
Second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Mr. Fetty thanks you.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, next is Mr. Weldon and Mr. Clark, Title 11, Chapter 155, Update and Ordinance. That's your booklet you got in there, in your packet.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. If it pleases the Common Council for the City of Lawrenceburg, we have the ordinance book, which is designated just for my copy as Exhibit A, and then we have a corresponding ordinance, which I believe would be Ordinance 16, Mr. Fetty.
That is correct.
Dash 2020. So the ordinance is to, if approved, to change our local code. If you pull up our local municipal code, what you'll find in Title 15, Section 155, is a current set of design, construction, material specifications. This is aligned also with things like our subdivision regulations and other things that regulate construction and work that's done within the city of Lawrenceburg. This speaks to design, construction, materials, and the way that work is done just in city property, in the right-of-way specifically. This is the product of many years of hard work by Mr. Clark, and just to echo what the mayor said, to congratulate Mr. Clark, and this is just one small example of someone kind of giving more to the city than they got. You know, Mr. Clark has done work here that will kind of last forever and set us up for success into the future, which we just really can't repay. And so that's why this book exists. He's put it together. This section of the code hasn't been changed since 1995. And so Mr. Clark has put this together with experience, with hard work, with trial and error, with the consulting of IDEM, of NDOT, of engineers, of just really every kind of permutation you could think of to say, okay, well, what do we need to look out for with projects that are done in our right of way? What problems have they caused? Issues that we've had to repair at our own expense? And what are the guidelines that builders should be held to? So this is what's called a repeal and replace. This actually takes the whole section out of our law, our book of ordinances, and replaces it with what's in this orange book. And also eliminates a couple provisions that were in there that are really already covered by the utility company. So I'll turn it over to Mr. Clark for any questions that you guys have, and he can explain it better than I can.
Yeah, guys, basically this is coverage on everything within public street right-of-way. Justin just used this 2 weeks ago, and what this does, it protects the city and the taxpayers to make sure when someone does something in that right-of-way, it's done properly, it's gonna last, so that we don't have to go back 2 years later, spend taxpayer dollars to repair it. It's protection for the city, it's a guideline, it's invaluable to Mr. Todd, performing the construction management side of things. So, like I say, we're replacing 25-year-old industry standards with new and current. So I highly recommend that you guys approve this, and we just move forward with this one until we have to change it again.
What's the ordinance number?
16.
16-220. Just so everybody knows, the agenda is a misprint. It says Title 11. It's actually, it should be Title 15. Just in case anybody's out there in live stream land looking at an agenda.
Good catch, Mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, you are doing something over besides just,
You've been around good company.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He usually catches it.
He had it teed up.
I think he was gonna call on it. Okay, anyway, any questions for Mr. Clark on this?
I mean, just a comment on, I mean, there's a common standard that this sets among, you know, 'cause there's a million ways to skin a cat, right? You know, when you're doing something, and having a common standard, a level playing field, for one, it's gonna help with when we receive bids on projects, we're not, you know, it's not apples to oranges. And two, it really is gonna provide a lot of protections for the city, the taxpayers, and also even the contractors doing it, that it's not questionable that they gotta go back and tear it out and redo it again because it failed. You know, that's the one great thing about, well, Mike and even Mario, having them around, is that if something's done, you know, below par, you know, we have fallbacks, so we can come back and make them bring it to where it needs to be. And so it's gonna save the contractors as well in the long haul, that we have a common standard that everybody's following. And, you know, and these are not just, items that they threw together. These are industry standards that they've been researching and developing and innovating over for 38 years. So that's way back before they even had standards when we started.
They wrote them on the inside of the cave. You know, you're right, though. It's a level playing field, but it's consistency. Yeah.
I think that's a great thing.
And as a contractor, Mr. Knopper, I mean, this aligns with what everyone should be doing. Is that your opinion?
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, it could seem cumbersome on the contractor side, to, you know, to have to put different levels of different aggregates or whatever to make sure it's right, but it's definitely the right way to go.
Good. Okay, if no other questions, I entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 16-2020 and to approve and pass tonight as long as the vote is unanimous.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Next item is Mr. Weldon, City Court interlocals.
Thank you, Your Honor. If it pleases the common council for the city of Lawrenceburg, what you have in your packet tonight for review and possible approval are two interlocal agreements. One is with the city of Aurora, and one is actually with Dearborn County itself, to create a relationship between those entities and our Lawrenceburg City Court for the enforcement of code violations and ordinance violations to facilitate the adjudication of those proceedings in our city court. Judge Johns is here, as Your Honor stated, and Judge Johns can speak to these. And I would just note, before turning it over to him, that we have passed similar interlocal agreements with West Harrison, Moores Hill, Dillsboro, I believe. Am I leaving any out? So I'd turn it over to Judge Johns to kind of explain what this means for us.
Thank you, Ms. Weld. These interlocals are really part of a larger effort that we've had since 2006 in presenting the court as a venue for these other municipalities to file ordinance violations. And the agreements themselves, essentially, they provide us as a venue, you know, to these small municipalities, and it doesn't cost us anything to do so. It doesn't cost us any resources or anything of that nature. And in fact, we would be collecting 50% of judgments that would be going towards the city's general fund. So it costs us nothing, and it generates more revenue for the city's general fund, which really we view as an offset to our operation costs. And really, I think it's important to note this is really an effort that we started in 2016. When I was appointed judge of the Lawrenceburg City Court, we're the second oldest court in the county, continuous operation. I'm sure some of you are old enough, sorry, that you probably run into previous judges. I
thought he looked at you.
The court was actually conducted in the second floor of the firehouse. And it was a jail, I believe, in the horse carriage. Throughout that time, it's been And I appropriated your phrase. I use it all the time with my staff when, you know, I'm trying to get them to, you know, enter these new processes. But, you know, we're trying to make a meaningful change to the culture over that court, and which means expanding what we do. And really that offsets our operation costs, but it provides a service to this community. Since 2016, this administration has filed over 70 unsafe and unfit for human habitation ordinance violations, which really means is we're trying to prevent blight within our own community. So you can drive up Walnut Street and you see anchor businesses in buildings that were previously abandoned. You can drive down any surface street in Lawrenceburg and you're gonna pass a property that was either abandoned, blighted, or unsafe. And now they're repaired, they have tenants, they have renters, they're not visual eyesores, and more importantly, they're not unsafe. And this is part of a larger trend, not only within the city of Lawrenceburg, but, you know, throughout the nation. You know, both private and public institutions have put out studies that by enforcing your minimum building standards, really what you do is you protect public investment, such as our parks, from depreciating. You attract private investments within your community. You increase home ownership, and more importantly, you improve the quality of life of its residents. And so we've been so successful here, these other communities have seen what we've done, and now they want to try and reproduce it. And the city court is the venue to do so. The county courts aren't situated to hear ordinance violations. They can't really do them efficiently with their court calendar, so it becomes too expensive or too time consuming to really pursue your enforcement of your ordinances in the county courts, which is why the city court is really primed to handle this. Any questions?
Your Honor, I'm just curious, what is the protocol procedure as you would receive a code violation from the city of Aurora? What is the workload as far as your staff?
As far as my staff goes, we handle things, you know, through the rules of civil procedure. And so the process that we have for ordinance violations is really the same we have for traffic infractions or criminal miscellaneous infractions, which means it's filed in our court. We set it for a pretrial conference within 1 to 2 weeks, and then we have it would be an ordinance violation hearing, in a sense, a week to 2 weeks later, which is a time frame that the county courts just can't, or they can't do. So it really doesn't change anything with the way our staff operates. We keep an open day once a week for any ordinance violation hearings, and then we've moved everything over to e-filing and email, so it really doesn't create any burden on staff. We're able to maintain our operations while also including these other municipalities.
I got a quick question. What so for Aurora, who would they turn the ordinance violation into?
So we have Skylar Klingelhofer, who is our deputy clerk of court, and so she would work directly with the code enforcement officer and the officer that's writing the ordinance violation, and they would file that with her, and then she would in turn send notice out through email notice to the defendant.
Okay, I was just wondering if our office had anything to do with like Dearman County or Aurora or.
Yeah, so what your office would be doing in that situation is the same as it does for West Harrison and Dillsboro, which is we collect, so our office collects any judgments, or we send it over through our collections that we work with, and they collect it. It gets distributed to us, and then we send that over to your office, and then you distribute 50% into the general fund and then 50% to their clerk treasurer.
That's the easy part. That's good.
Okay. Any questions for Judge? If not, I'll take these one at a time for approval. First one, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the interlocal between the city of Lawrenceburg and Aurora for code enforcement violations.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Tony, second.
I'll second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next one is an interlocal between the city of Lawrenceburg and Dearborn County for ordinance violations hearings.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. We got anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
That's it?
Yes, sir.
You guys got any new business or old business, Councilman?
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Wednesday, we had Plan Commission, Southeastern Indiana Health Services, which was Dearman County Hospital. They have the commercial subdivision where Ridgewood is located.
Yes.
They are requesting a replat of that subdivision, which they're taking a piece from 3 lots, turning that into a new lot
Okay.
for proposed development. This has gone through the Plan Commission. They have forwarded it to the Common Council with recommendation to go ahead and certify so they can get the subdivision lots reconfigured and get this replat recorded.
Okay. So you need, from us, you need a motion to approve
The
the
replat.
replatting of, what subdivision is it?
Oh, the name of it is Dearman County Medical Office Campus.
So I entertain a motion to, any questions first, guys?
I have none.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I brought my ABC packet as well, so I have the information, so if you wanna look through it, or we can make some copies or something. Pretty cut and dry.
Okay, and you're calling it now, what's the name of that plat again? I'm sorry.
Dearborn County Medical Office Campus.
Okay,
That's what the subdivision's name is.
okay. So then I'm looking for a motion to approve the replatting of the Dearborn County Medical Office Campus
I'll make that motion.
property. Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. I'll get your signatures tomorrow.
Okay.
on this.
Okay. Any other old business, guys?
No, but no, we do have a meeting Thursday, and that is at what time?
4:30.
No, that's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Jeez, he did that on purpose.
Wednesday,
4:30.
and that's gonna be a long meeting, right?
It might
Very
be.
long. So I'd like to make the motion that the mayor's gonna buy our lunch or supper.
Wouldn't it be more dinner, cause it's about 4:30,
Well,
it costs a little
Buy our
more.
dinner.
Speaking of Wednesday, I might need about 5 minutes of
So,
Yeah, we'll do that.
tardiness time, okay? Just a heads up.
You need a tardiness this time?
I do, yeah.
Okay. Kiddos coming home?
Yeah,
Yeah, I figured that. That's okay, we'll wait on you.
okay.
Okay, anything else, guys?
Are we gonna open up for public comment? Is there a number they can call? If there is public comment, we open to that?
Well, I'm more than happy to do that. They can call my cell phone number right now if they'd like. It's,
You have it handy?
yep, 513
Okay,
760
okay.
4632. So we'll take comments, public comments.
760-4632.
760-4632.
All right. If we just give that a few minutes, give it a couple minutes. Mike, seriously, thanks again for all your service here.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's,
Yeah, thanks,
a
Mike.
lot of good stuff happened under your tenure, so.
Aurora is interested in our playground equipment.
Great.
great.
I just got a
That's great.
text from Mayor Drury.
Oh, good.
So let's, I'll see if they may be interested in doing the demo on it and,
Be excited to entertain that.
Okay.
So that's great.
hello, Mayor Milan, can I help you?
Hello, this is Bill Halbig.
Hi, Billy.
How you doing?
Good.
Are you guys still in council meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Wasn't exactly sure on the process, but we had a lot of officers concerned about the contracts, what's going on.
That's,
how
that's not, it's not for this meeting. Okay.
All right. Well, we've just run into a lot of uncertainties and wanted to make it known, I guess. So concerned. It's all been kind of, I feel like it's been kept in the dark, and I'm concerned about it, so.
I can talk to you offline too, Billy, but has your union rep kept you updated?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah, he has. It just feels like kind of not been up front because we've had to deal with this other attorney, and of course I've not been in the meetings either, so I just wanted to voice my concerns. That's all. So
Well,
I'll get with Jacob and let him deal with it, I guess.
yeah, sure. That's probably the proper way to go about it since he's representing you guys.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Bill.
All right. Bye.
All right. Any other comments from the audience? Was that the one you had?
Yeah, I just got some text and stuff, so.
Okay. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Well, you guys beat me to
Motion
that one.
carries.
I'm used to
Thanks,
I've got a-
everybody.
I need a lot of signatures. I
Hey,
need
go
a,
home.